The Metaverse, from accessories and future tech to business strategies and even how it will integrate in our day-to-day. That and more on today's episode.
Want to know what's next? For over 2 decades, we've led the world's most influential brands to create the right products at the right time for tomorrow's consumer. This is WGSN's Client Questions Answered.
Hello and welcome to the show where our experts from around the globe unpack your biggest challenges. This week's episode is an extra special one. We had so many great questions off the back of WGSN's recent live show on consumer tech. And over the next 2 episodes, we'll be taking a deeper dive into the topics you asked us about. This week, it's all things Metaverse. I'm Carla Bizashi, President and CEO at WGSN. Let's dive straight in. Our first question comes from a client asking, can you discuss some of the accessories consumers will want to use in the Metaverse? A really great question. This was a hot topic for WGSN Live. So let's head over to Singapore and hear from consumer tech analyst Neo Ping.
Thank you, Carla. That's a great question. I think instead of wondering about what Metaverse accessories consumers want to use in the future, I believe it's more important to think about this in terms of consumer mindsets. The Metaverse will only gain traction if accessories become simple and easy to use, and the average person will not want to deal with complicated body tracking setups or heavy virtual reality headsets, but rather more accessible products like augmented reality glasses designed to be taken on and off in an instant. What's important here is convenience, comfort, and ease of use, and regardless of whatever Metaverse accessory you're designing, I believe focusing on these key areas will be crucial to growing Metaverse adoption in the future.
Thanks, Ping. For more information on Metaverse accessories, from 3D NFT watches to luxury crypto wallet holders, check out our Personal Tech Forecast 2024. Our next question comes from a client asking, how come no one is talking about better aesthetics for the Metaverse? The aesthetics are pretty poor right now. What can be done about that? A very valid question, and I'm going to pass it over to Riker Morrison, our head of CMF in Denver.
Well, I think a lot of people are talking about the need for better aesthetics in the metaverse, but there are a couple of forces in play regarding the current aesthetics of the metaverse. One is the current target audiences. They're mainly younger gamers who gravitate toward playful, cartoonish, bright-colored styles. The other reason is that creating more photorealistic 3D effects takes some hefty processing power and skilled digital 3D designers that are in high demand right now. Product designers are already producing photorealistic renderings of tech products, and I'm seeing loads of creativity as various colors, materials, and finishes are explored and refined. Digital tools and technological advances in processing speed will soon catch up to the rendering quality that we see today in product design and film, and will be prolific in the metaverse because the demand is already there.
Amazing. Thank you, Raiko, for that answer. We explore the importance of digital-first design in our report, The Future of Consumer Tech 2030. So take a look at that report if you'd like a glimpse of how the metaverse and its aesthetics will develop. Next up, we have a client asking, what are some of the potential downsides or detrimental results of the growing metaverse? For this, we're heading to London to hear from Sarah Housley, our head of consumer tech. Over to you, Sarah.
There's a lot to think about really broadly within the ethics of the metaverse. And first of all, whether people even actually want to spend more time using screens or roaming around within virtual worlds. This is something that we as an industry and as a society really need to think about as the metaverse is growing and evolving. There are lots of implications within really important areas like inclusion, accessibility, and diversity. And there are major challenges to address within sustainability as well. The good news is that lots of people are starting to think about these issues in depth, and we're already starting to see progress and innovation happening at pace. And this is a topic we're going to be looking at in depth on WGSN throughout this year, so stay tuned for more.
Expert insight, as always, there from Sarah. I imagine there'll be a lot more conversations around metaverse ethics in the coming years. Our next consumer tech query comes from a client asking, how can brands start integrating a metaverse strategy into a business model? What's the first step? Let's head over to Lisa Yong, our Director of Consumer Tech in San Francisco, to hear her thoughts.
Brands need to ask themselves the following questions. Who is your core consumer base? What does your brand stand for, and why do you need to participate in the metaverse? Start by evaluating your business goals, know your customers' needs, and check out WGSN's Metaverse reports to help you make informed decisions that identify the opportunity gap for innovation. If it makes sense for your brand, then engage with alpha users to fully understand what they want and work with them to deliver on the spaces they like to play in. Build the world by collaborating with industry players and infrastructure companies, or hire the right expertise and skill sets to form your own team. Essentially, do what's right for your business and give the time needed to establish the foundation you can build on.
Some great insight there. Thank you, Lisa. And our final question for this episode comes from a client asking, how do you see Metaverse as a future lifestyle? Would it really be occupying people's lives in the future? For this, we're heading to Joe McDonnell, our Head of Insight. Over to you, Joe.
Absolutely. The metaverse is already here, and you can see it really clearly with certain different consumer groups. So Gen Zs and alphas are spending a lot more time gaming. They're playing on platforms like Fortnite and Roblox. They're spending time there socializing with friends after school. They're spending their money on in-game clothing, in-game skins, in-game goods. And this is beginning to expand to other sectors as well. So if you look at the sports space, you've got platforms like Zwift, where you can connect a treadmill or you can connect a bike on a turbo trainer. And again, you can exercise in your living room, but you're transported to this enormous metaverse where you can interact with thousands of other players, you can do races, you can spend time socializing with your friends, you can customize your avatar, get a matching jersey, upgrade your bike. And this isn't some sort of distant, far off fantasy. This is here now. You can download it and you can start playing on it. So for brands, really it's thinking about which metaverse is right for you, what suits your brand identity, and most of all, where can you add value to consumers in an authentic way?
Thanks, Joe. Our podcast, Create Tomorrow, has an episode called Into the Metaverse, which features WGSN expert tips on how to enter it and the vast potential it holds for the future. So that's it for part one of our Consumer Tech special. We'll pick this up again next week. And in the meantime, if you have any questions or comments that you'd like answered, please pop them in the comments box. I'm Carla Bazashi, and I'll see you next time.